Hello, everybody, and welcome back. I'm Karex, and we're continuing on with Farthest Frontier while it's in early access. This is sort of just a first look at it in 2022 after its release. And we're going to be coming out of ending our first year here momentarily as we come survive through this winter. We don't have much food, but we have enough. We don't have much, but we have enough. We have some extra housing there, so we don't have to worry about building more housing for the time being. We've got we're just kind of going through and looking through a lot of these tier 1 buildings and trying to kind of get them built as the game kind of, tells us to do so. We got some decoration stuff we could do here. We got some more like fencing at the low levels. You kind of have to get to tier 2 and eventually tier 3 to get the walls. There is a watchtower that we could build. This, however, costs monthly upkeep. Costs 5 gold per month, okay? 5 gold per month to maintain this. Looks like someone's died. They died. Yeah, they died because of rabies, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, we had yep, they had rabies. So that's just how it goes. That's how it goes. We're working on building the cemetery, so eventually, hopefully, we'll be able to move them into the cemetery. Looks like a lot of people are over here working, so that's good. Don't know what this person was. This person one of our hunters? I'm not sure, but they'll be replaced. Next person in line will just jump right in. It's interesting that this water's looking kind of brownish right now for some reason. But we are transitioning into spring, it looks like. Well, in a month or two. Year 2 has started. I think, honestly, for the most part right now, we are just kind of building. One thing is we are actually accumulating waste in homes, so we do need a composter. Eventually, we need a composter to be able to take care of that. We haven't built our saw plant. Okay, the saw plant is the most important thing. It just hasn't been built yet. We have the outline for it here, but it hasn't actually been built. Do we have all 4 people working as builders? Yes, we do. We could bump that to 5. Okay, we have too many laborers. We need people. We need more hunters. Well, we're trying to build another hunting hut over here. We probably also tried to build too big of a graveyard, but we'll see if this is nearly done once this person sort of takes care of this last fallen tree. Maybe it might just, ta-da, I'm not sure. But hopefully this will be done soon. In fact, I'm just going to give us 6 builders. Right now we have plenty of laborers. In fact, with these laborers, actually, we could actually, I'm being kind of silly. We probably should tell people to go, oh no, they are assigned. They're already assigned to go chop all these trees and get all this stone. Come get some more stone if you want. We already have enough stone at the moment, but they have jobs that they can do. That's the important thing here. They have jobs that they can do. In terms of roads, I'm trying to think, how could we continue these road networks? That's actually going up into a hill, which is kind of interesting. Let's actually just peel this off, though. Bring out your dead. Yes, good. We've built. I'm assuming we've built. We're building a graveyard. We're building it. Thanks for the heads up. Just kind of getting some roads built, just to kind of lay the groundwork and the infrastructure for better movement through the town and such. Predator's been sighted. This is just a wolf. Yeah, I'm going to tell you to attack, actually. Turn around and attack. Yeah, everybody just attack together. Together! There we go. Look at that micro. Look at that micro. I'm kiting like that. There's got to be a wolf den somewhere around here that we haven't discovered. Now, I wish there was a menu or something that we could go into to find where we've discovered maybe a wolf den or something, like a menu that we could open, in here, and we could search for wolf dens or something. Other games like Transport Fever 2 has like a menu you can go through where you can find like, oh, I'm looking for a tool plant. How many tool plants are on the map? Okay, there's 3 tool plants, and then you can visit the location of the various tool plants. This game kind of needs something like that, because when you're trying to find sand or something or clay, we just happen to see those now, so I thought of those, or like gold nuggets. It can be kind of hard to find this stuff on the map when you're just literally aimlessly like zooming around the map looking for stuff. Like what have we found? I'm not talking about telling us where stuff is that we haven't found, But of the things we found, what have we found? And where is it? We keep getting attacked by these guys. And it makes me think there's got to be a wolf den out there somewhere, right? In fact, actually, it's a sort of a mama and a papa. Or what am I saying? No, it's just a mama and a cub. Just attack. Oh, wow. The wolf actually kind of knows to, like, change targets there. Kite. Of course, these people could still die from their wounds and all kinds of things. Now, ideally, hopefully these are not going to waste. They shouldn't be going to waste. And once this hunting cabin is built, they definitely should be able to come over. We can assign them. I might just, what the heck? Let's tell this person to, I'm going to sort of make sure that these carcasses are in the radius, because I think it's the hunter that will come and take care of these carcasses, I think. Be nice if the laborers could just do it and stuff, but I don't think they can. Things are going well. You know what? We might go up to speed 2 just to let some of these buildings build. I like playing at a slow pace, but I realize that for the YouTube, we kind of need to get things going here. We have a storehouse, so this is the primary place where we're going to be storing things. So which means we can build a market. If the sawmill was built, okay, this is on fire, so people are going to have to come over here and get these use the well. Speaking of wells, actually a second well might be critically important. Yeah, more water resource could be really, really nice. Actually, having one next to, in the main town and next to all the storage yards, probably going to be really good. The one out here by where we're kind of building up like a little industrial district. The unfortunate thing is, though, we're just like, we need more builders, I guess. No one's building anything. No one's being a lazy bum about it. I mean, I guess people could be complaining we don't have wood, but we do have the wood. What I could also do is I could disable, for now, we could actually just disable this building. Because we have plenty of firewood at the moment. Okay, we keep getting continually being attacked. Continually being attacked by wolves. But we haven't actually found another wolf den. I think the wolves are something that's clearly still being rebalanced a bit. Oh, we got more deer sighted over here. Looks like those carcasses were picked up. Enemy sighted. So we might actually have like a legitimate raid happening right now. That's incredibly fast. Oh, no. We've just sighted the wolf den. That's all. Okay. So that's a wolf den right there. The hunter's hut has been taken care of. Okay, I'm going to tell this hunter's hut to focus on attacking that wolf den. Hazelnuts over here, huh? This looks like a good place to do some gathering, actually. This looks like a fantastic place to do some gathering. Let's get another gatherer's hut over here. Maybe next to the hunting hut, the hunting lodge. And it probably would be worth now, especially with a second hunting lodge, to get to get another smokehouse sort of in between the two hunting lodges that we have. Yeah, we got pretty low food. Yeah, no doubt. Okay, the sawmill has finally been built, so we can finally try to build the market. And we want this to be able to capture all of the houses that we've sort of built so far. The radius on the market cannot be adjusted. Cannot be adjusted. So if we build it here, that's kind of it. That's not bad. That's not bad. It grabs all the houses we have. We can build some more houses out here still. It's just that we have this kind of, the terrain here is just a little bit gnarly is all. which actually I think, really adds to the aesthetic of the village. Like it makes it look more like a real place to me, and especially spreading out the houses, twisting them around a touch and stuff. So that's all pretty good. Looks like we don't have any jobs that aren't being worked, except for we did disable the woodcutter in order to, and I'm going to turn that back on actually. But we did temporarily disable the woodcutter in order to preserve a little bit of wood to do some of the buildings that we're trying to build. Once these wolves have been slowly kind of taken out by the hunter, then we can get rid of the wolf den itself. Or we could just keep the wolf den around as a source of wolves, so constantly being attacked. It's silly, but there we go. Is that person dead? That person might be dead. It's just how things go. It's just how things go, unfortunately. The predator thing is kind of goofy. Like, to me, it's silly how many people are like in actuality, a settlement like this, the wolves would be running for the high hills. You know what I mean? It's not. Maybe they'd be coming after the livestock. Maybe they'd be coming after the chickens or whatever, right? But like the wolves are not going to be like aggressively attacking into town like this. In a freak situation, sure, but not like continually. And I think for the most part, the villagers would be able to defend against a wolf fairly well. Someone could get injured, but occasionally this would be a rare occurrence. The fact that the biggest threat in this game, in my experience from playing the 20 or 30 hours I've already played in the couple other villages I've done, it's always just wolves. And I don't even mean to say threat, like, oh no, we might have to restart because this wolf attack. No, it's just annoying. But it doesn't even really matter because if they die, someone else moves to town, and there's a lot less weight and consequence to this than, for example, in Banished, right? In Banished, if someone dies during child labor early in the game, it's like, holy cow, that's like 1/5 of my workforce. And like, is that going to create the spiral? That person's now no longer working in the fishing hut, and they're no longer producing that food, right? Like, is that now going to be the thing that sends us into a spiral and kills us, right? Um, in this game, you get attacked by wolves sometimes. Sometimes people die. It's whatever. Which I think that is a flaw. That is kind of a flaw of the design, right? That you don't feel like the lives of these people is actually that important, sort of like moment to moment. They're very expendable, which I think these games are strongest when the villagers are not expendable. And I think the immigration is a big reason for that. I think the immigration, the way the birthing works or doesn't work, it does work, but it's like it's very abstracted. It's more abstracted than Banished, and it just kind of like people just kind of randomly appear sometimes. But the birthing not being fleshed out enough, and the immigration being so consistent and forgiving, and just overly a common occurrence. I think those things all kind of tie together to kind of make things feel like the individual lives don't matter as much. Which I would definitely prefer that to be tuned such that you care that these people are dying. And then obviously, if people are dying to wolves and stuff, you need to balance that out. If it mattered, if it was like catastrophic that you lost like 4 people to a bear attack, like that would just need to be then balanced out such that, the bear attacks would be much less common. We haven't even been attacked by a bear. Bear attacks are actually fairly, it depends, I guess. More rare. This ability really does a number on desirability, but as far as I can tell, desirability doesn't matter unless it's affecting the houses, right? Like desirability of the fishing hut doesn't matter. The desirability of the other industrial areas doesn't matter, such like that. But that compost yard is going to be critically important because it's going to start taking care of the waste that's accumulated, the human waste that's accumulating in the shelters. It's really annoying that you constantly get these messages: attacked by predators, attacked by predators, attacked by predators. Yeah, I get it. Like, and we were just talking about how we kind of don't really care about that too much. Okay, here's the thing though. This person's now becoming... We have taken care of the wolves here, okay? And what I want to do is I want to attack the wolf den itself. and clear this out. Yeah, so we're going to clear out the wolf den. And hopefully that will reduce some of it. Now, we know wolves are coming from a couple different... Like, there's wolf dens everywhere. I think they respawn, too. I think they respawn. They're getting attacked. You know, it's just... Oh, apparently there are wolves over here. Never mind. See if we can micro this. These wolves are weak. Well, never mind. Some of them are weak. Some of them aren't. Run for your life. Let's see if we can do a drive-by hit over here with some of these other folk. Wait, are they all weak? No, there's one there that's like full strength. That little cub there is full strength. It is weird that this you can actually do that micromanagement, whereas in Banished, you know, you don't individually... Your people are just intelligent enough to just do their job on their own. Some people might kind of look at this and be like, whoa, you know what I mean? Like, look at the control. It's so cool that you have this control now. I look at it more like, well, why do we need to control them if they're smart enough? If they were designed in such a way that they could just be smart enough to do their job on their own. So I kind of lean a little bit more towards... I like the idea that we're more macroscopically making the big macro decisions for the village, and we have to make good decisions to set our villagers up to be successful, right? And the villagers are going to be independently trying to take care of what they think they need to do based on, you know, good AI, and letting that not be something we need to micromanage in the combat situations and stuff. I guess it's just different because there is combat situations. It would probably be frustrating if you couldn't direct them a little bit, but it definitely helps the fact that you can just tell them, okay, guys, just work as a team, attack together, kill it, move on. Whereas usually they'll just run around in circles constantly without that. But see, we lost 2 or 3 people to wolf attacks right over the last year. But here we go. We just got 2 people just showed up because of immigration. We had 1 earlier. Yeah, we've lost 4 people, but you know, we've gained so much more just from the ether. It's not something we're really too concerned about. We have 7 months of food and none of it is going to spoil anytime soon, which means we're smoking it. We're smoking all of the food that we're getting is turning into smoked food, which is really nice. Now, did we finish that gather set? Here's the gather set. Let's do. This has got eggs, it's got berries, it's got herbs, mushrooms. But if we go more like this, we can get more berries in there. Technically, you can move seasonally, you can move this around, but one thing that's actually kind of cool that you can do is I believe some of these berries can be transplanted. The blueberry bushes can actually be uprooted, but not the sumac trees, or bushes or whatever they are. That doesn't help us. If these were blueberry bushes, we could move them into the radius and then keep this be the gathering radius. Okay, over here, I want you to work on this patch of deer. And this, I want you to come in more focused on this patch of deer. I don't want there to really be much crossover there. So that we're not over-hunting those areas, but we're successfully going to hunt those 2 areas. We have the 1 fishing hut. We have a couple gathering huts. We got that other one now online. The gathering hut, a lot of that stuff is perishable, right? It's just like greens and berries and things. That stuff doesn't keep. It should keep a little bit longer in the root cellar. It would keep even longer. We can augment this root cellar. We can upgrade it, but we can also augment it with barrels. But the barrels require iron. Like the cooperage to make the barrels requires iron, and that's a little bit more advanced than where we're at the moment. So with the basket shop, we can actually do some basket weaving, but that requires willow. So we have to be able to find willow. Oh, here's another deer hut. Another deer, a deer-sided thing. I haven't seen any willow on this map. Willow is one of those weird resources that I think it's kind of frustrating in the sense that it's so rare that I've only seen willow on the 4 or 5 maps. 4 or 5 villages I've played, I've only found willow once. And when I found it, it was everywhere. It was just all around the lake. So it seems to be kind of a resource that's just sort of randomly can appear near water, but you literally have to have willow in order to even use the basket shop. So it's kind of goofy in that sense. Yeah, just in the sense that If you don't have it, then there's no point building a basket shop. You can trade for the willow. There is trading in the game, and the game is kind of set up that it wants you to trade. It wants you to engage in that kind of thing. I Again, I like the idea of being able to self-sufficiently use the resources that we can, the labor and the resources that exist to us within the village, right? The people, the actual human labor, the capacity, and then also, the natural resources in the local area. I like the idea of being able to make the village sustainable. The game is designed that it does force you to do some trading. I think that's kind of a overall kind of a bummer, but because I don't think there's any reason why you can't make it such that you could do trading still. Trading can still be a thing to offload some surplus or to get some things in bulk that maybe would just be nice to have, or things you might have some maps that have lower amounts of willow, but I don't think you should have maps that have no willow. You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. So you still might have to be able to ration certain things based on sustainability unless you start trading, and then trading can still open things up a bit. So to me, it doesn't have to be like, the game has to rely on trading or the game can't have any trading. It could be somewhere in between. I think that's fine. This is a tannery here. I'm just wondering where we want to build it. Well, we know that a lot of these buildings over here are already going to be, buildings that that kill the desirability. So we could just group those together and just make this the least desirable part of town. But a tannery means we're going to start actually being able to build. We're going to be able to build clothing. And the cobbler, likewise, we're going to be able to make shoes. So leather hides will turn into clothing and shoes. That doesn't affect desirability, so we can build it sort of in this industrial area here that is more pleasant on the water. And I think for the most part, those two buildings will kind of round out everything we have for tier 1. And then that means that we can just start working on what does it take to get to a tier 2 shelter. We need planks. We need more desirability. And we need the town hall to be upgraded. So what do we need to upgrade the town hall? We need 50 planks and 30 population. Okay, that's not very difficult. To get to 30 population, we'll want at least a couple more houses, so we could just queue those up now. Although I don't really consider this to be much of a priority. There is a slope tool. I'm kind of opting to see if we can get away with not using it at the moment, but it does look like we're going to need to smooth some things out in this area potentially to build some additional, squeeze some additional buildings in some of these areas maybe at some point. 13 months worth of food. So we have 13 months of food, and only 1 month of that is likely to be spoiled. Now, I would like to be able to tell you guys that the AI eats food based on like it prioritizes food that will spoil sooner. Like if we have root vegetables and berries and stuff, the folk will eat that first, and then they'll eat the smoked meat and the preserves and the jams and the jellies and pickles and things. But unfortunately, unfortunately, I would just be making that up. I don't think there's any rhyme or reason to it, because partly the houses, this is how much is in storage, right? This is what the people actually have in their home. So this person's eating just 24 smoked meat. I don't think they're explicitly going to go and only buy berries from the market that doesn't even have any berries in it right now for some reason, right? Like it has just raw meat. It doesn't even have smoked meat, it has raw meat. Why is that, right? So I don't think it's been built in such a way that it's like, okay, we got 3 months of food that will perishable food, which is that, well, that's the 120 grams of raw meat and the 32 mushrooms probably, and the 50 berries. Whereas the food that will stay is the smoked fish and the smoked meat. Oh, the eggs, I guess. Well, I don't know. Actually, the eggs may stick around for not more than a month, maybe. Apparently, actually, I learned something interesting. The Twitch is an amazing place to learn stuff because you connect with people all over the world, right? And apparently, in other countries, I'm from the United States, I'm from North America, the United States. If that wasn't obvious, as it turns out, though, in other countries, they leave their eggs out of the refrigerator. Like you don't put your eggs in the refrigerator. You just leave them out. And I guess it's just because of the way that the in the United States we like we take the eggs and then we like power wash them or whatever, and we like take off the protective coating, and we might treat them or dunk them in something or whatever, right? We do additional unnecessary things to the eggs to make them look really shiny white or this or that or something something something. And it turns out that it is, for safety reasons, it is good to keep your eggs in the refrigerator if you're buying them in an American grocery store. But in other countries, apparently, you just leave them out on the counter. Now, I don't remember exactly how long they last. Apparently, even milk. I think even milk can last way longer in other countries because of something we do to the milk or something as well. It's interesting. Um, I don't know if they leave the milk out, but at least it has like a much longer shelf life with it within the refrigerator. I can't remember. Did they leave the milk out in the Netherlands? Some people from the Netherlands were telling me about this, and I think actually in Japan we actually had someone talking from Japan, because of course in Japan they eat a lot of raw egg, but again the way that they do the way that they the way that the eggs are grown, the chickens are raised and the eggs and the way the eggs are treated and everything like that, they're protected from some of the same bacteria that plagues a lot of the egg in North America, or at least in the United States, that doesn't like allow us to safely eat raw egg, or as safely, right? You can still eat. I still eat cookie dough, and I don't really blink. Sometimes I've had meals, sort of traditional Japanese meals, where you're dunking the meat in the raw egg or whatever, right? Like it doesn't bother me. I'm not worried I'm going to get sick or whatever. But I think technically you shouldn't be doing that if you are trying to not get sick, in the United States at least. It's interesting, and I'm sure maybe you can get eggs that are safe to eat raw too. Maybe there's just a different. Maybe you just have to buy those separately or specially or something. Of course, like I said, in Japan they eat tons of raw egg. I don't think they eat as much raw egg in the Netherlands, but they do leave their eggs out. That's the point of the story. Long story short, eggs do keep. I don't know if the game is saying these eggs are keeping for more than a month or not, though. I'd be curious to know if what frame of reference they're coming from. The developers for this Crate Entertainment, I'm not sure where they're based. I don't know if they're based in somewhere that would leave their eggs out or not. I guess that's my question ultimately, huh? Enough of that. Enough of that. Correct me in the comments if I'm being, incorrect with anything I'm saying. So we are producing arrows here. It's just wood. It's just wood, and we can make arrows, and we can make bows, which replenish the ability for, the hunters to do what they need to do. This person looked like they've gotten some a new shipment of arrows just came in. Hopefully, said they were complaining they didn't have any arrows, but then that just went away. So I'm guessing they've gotten their shipment. We got 3 more villagers joining the crowd. I think we could probably, we have almost no one's working as a builder, and we have tons of people as laborers. It is time to start farming. We're about to get to level 2, tier 2. We have enough money that we could actually build a tower, a defensive tower. And I think that might be good. The defensive tower, it costs money, but let's build a defensive tower as our final thing. We're making 10 ducats a month. Every house is making some money by going to the market, and there's some taxes from that. I really am going to try to bite my tongue and not criticize that too much. We talk about it. We've played this game on the Twitch for a month or so, like 30 to 40 hours of gameplay on the Twitch or something like that over the course of like 4 or 5 weeks. So we've made a number of villages, and we got some experience with the game and stuff. And to me, it drives me absolutely bonkers that we're generating money from this market, because like ultimately, just conceptually, where does the money come from? Where do these coins come from? There is no coin issuer. I'm saying you don't need to have a currency-based economy, right? You can put this marketplace down. This person can go and collect the resources that the community is generating collectively, and they can come here and you can either barter for things, or you can just share things here at the market or whatever, right? This person could still work at the market. You can still have a market. You can still distribute these goods. You can still have an economy. You can still have a market-based economy without currency. Like, but I'm saying the currency makes no sense, and it makes no sense that we're taxing the people because these 28 people are the only people that live here. We're all kind of related to each other here. This is all one big happy family, but we're taxing each other. It doesn't make any sense. In Banished, you have marketplaces, you have houses, you have people getting their needs taken care of, you have people working in the labor field, you have all of these things, and there's no concept of money, right? Because it's not required, and it doesn't even make sense. It doesn't make sense, and it's not even required. It's not required to have someone come and work here, or to have someone be able to get the food that they need or whatever. Like it's not actually a requirement of a community like this, right? A small little community, a pilgrim goes out and settles a new community. They're not buying and selling things from each other in the early days because they don't have a way to regenerate the coinage, right? So what happens when you have a generation, and then you have a new generation, and then a new generation, and new generation, and yeah, you might have brought some money with you, right? You might have brought a chest of gold with you, but that chest of gold cannot supply a growing economy. That's why you have to keep issuing more currency, whether it's ducats or whether it's silver, shillings, or whether it's dollars or whatever, right? Like you can't have a growing economy based on currency without currency issuing. It doesn't make any sense. Anyways, so that's my rant. I didn't want to do that rant, but we did the rant, and luckily we did it at the end of an episode. Guys, thanks everybody for being here. I will see you guys in the next episode where we will continue on playing Farthest Frontier. The point of the story is, though, we had enough money in taxes or whatever to be able to afford this lookout tower, which costs us five gold. Why does nothing else cost us gold? I don't know, but the lookout tower costs us gold. So there you go. Guys, I'll see you guys in the next episode. Thanks everybody for being here. See you guys in the next one. We'll work on, hopefully we'll get some agriculture going in the next episode. Have a good one, everybody.